show all your praise. The war is on again. Shoot down, shoot down, shoot down. Melting glaciers recorded. You scatter through the time rising. Set down again. Pick it back up just to win. Set down again. Pick it back up. You'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win. Shoot out, shoot the lights out. Maybe they won't see us now. Undercover darkness ground. They won't find us again. Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out. Melting glaciers recorded. Scattering through the time rising. Step down again. Pick it back up just to win. Step down again. Pick it back up. You'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win.
It's a morning. Such a love into you.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Noah in the morning. I am here. Got a little bit of a late start today. It's Murphy's Law today. Everything's just going insane in the world. I think it's because it's Thursday, and we are starting the weekend. I'm a little bit under the weather, but the show must go on today, my friends. I am here. I'm here for you, and everything is breaking. So about 5 minutes before the show is about to start, about 9:55 a.m., here's Noah in his little studio doing all of his magical things, pressing magical buttons over here and over there and all around the place, right, to make things happen, to bring the audios and the videos to you good peoples on the YouTubes and on the Radio Destiny media player here. And I'm reaching up to turn on the Radio Destiny media player, knock this computer off of a very high place, and it falls. It tumbles down, makes a very sinister noise of glass breaking, things breaking everywhere. The computer was fine. I don't know what the sound came from. But it broke every other computer. Like that, they all just lined up in protest together in a show of solidarity. Everything decided to stop working because I threw the laptop on the floor. So late start today in Murphy's Law, and my voice sounds horrible, but we are going to get through it. I've got a lot of new music to get into today, a ton of it actually. Let's start off with some Hell Cannon. How about that? That'll wake you up a little bit. Ooh, the Night Rider. Yes! It's Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Everybody's fired up. You got your Hell Cannon going on. It's Noah in the morning. Give me a call, 716-402-4218. That's the phone number here at All Western New York Radio at all times. There's the Skypers. We'll be on the Skype a little bit later today talking to our good friend Tommy Loop. For the moment, this is your morning alert, people. Wake up! Oh, yeah. Oh. I'm drinking some tea. We're going to be good. We are going to be great. Not just good. Okay. Let's start with the Rock Hall today. Today is the day. Today's the big day. The induction, the 2014 Hall of Fame. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that is. Let's see. This year's inductees. Hall & Oates, good choice. Kiss, I suppose they had to get in eventually. Nirvana, first ballot Hall of Famer, absolutely had to be so. Linda Ronstadt, okay, more country, but, the Rock Hall, not picky about poaching from other genres. Cat Stevens, love that, love Cat Stevens. Questionable whether he'll be able to actually attend the ceremony since I think he's on the no-fly list. His name is actually Yusuf Islam. That's not a joke. He converted to Islam many, many years ago, back in the 70s, actually. And he was on his way to New York just a couple of years ago, and they stopped him. Can't fly. You're on the no-fly list, Yusuf. I guess anybody whose name has either Yusuf or Islam in it is probably on the no-fly list. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be racist, but that is the law in the U.S. if that's your name. I didn't make the law, people, okay? Cat Stevens certainly didn't make the law. Oh, baby, it's a wide world. See, I spilled that all over myself. This is just perfect. All right, who else we got going into the hall today? The E Street Band is going in. Brian Epstein and Andrew Loog Oldham. Okay, first of all, who the fuck is Brian Epstein? Brian Epstein served as the Beatles' manager from January 1962 until his death in 1967. Oh, disgusting. The Beatles' manager is going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Although, to be fair, he probably should have gone in before the Beatles themselves. More to do with creating their career than they actually did. Let's see, Andrew Loog Oldham, also going in, Lifetime Achievement. He's the manager of the Rolling Stones. Why are managers going into the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? This makes no sense. Look, people of Cleveland, Cleveland's a fine town. I love it. I haven't been to the Rock Hall personally. I was holding out until Peter Gabriel's inducted, which is also happening today. Peter Gabriel. Finally. It's good. Good. Cleveland, fine town. Rock Hall, fine place. But man, you people have got to get your voting fixed. Something has to change. It's just crazy. You're putting in the Brian Epstein. Noah's not happy. I'm coming for you, Epstein. Oh wait, he died 50 years ago. Okay, let's see. Some information about the induction ceremony. Of course, a lot of times famous musicians will come out and help out with the induction. They'll perform with, some of their idols who are going in. So the rock and roll induction is always very, very interesting. Man, Hell Cannon, they just don't fuck around, do they? Okay, that's not going to feel good. I know it's sick throat. Okay, let's see. So Peter Gabriel, as I said, he's going in, and he'll be performing. He'll be inducted by Chris Martin. good pairing there. Hall & Oates, they're going in. They will be performing, and they'll be inducted by Questlove. Interesting. Kiss, not performing. I'm guessing there wasn't enough money involved for old Gene Simmons to induce him out of retirement. But they will be inducted by Tom Morello. Tom Morello of Audio Slave and Rage Against the Machine, of course. Nirvana, as I said, first ballot. And if Nirvana didn't go in first ballot to the Hall, I would have lost all respect for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because they are a rock and roll band who had an enormous influence on music of their time. No performance, but Michael Stipe will be inducting Nirvana. That's pretty cool, old Michael Stipe, man. There was a rumor that Michael Stipe and Kurt Cobain were collaborating on an album shortly before Kurt Cobain killed himself. And you can only imagine what that would have been like. Michael Stipe, longtime frontman of R.E.M., working with Kurt Cobain. I just... their styles are so different. I just love to see what they would have come out with. Alas, he belongs to the ages now. Okay, Linda Ronstadt going in. And again, I'm conflicted about Linda Ronstadt. I guess kind of a crossover artist. You could make that argument into rock and roll, but more country. I would think country. Like, where's the Country Hall of Fame? It's getting hard to think straight. It's in Nashville, right? It has to be. It's in Tennessee somewhere. It's outside of Nashville? Oh, boy. Linda Ronstadt will be inducted by Glenn Frey. And this is going to be a great musical tribute, at least for Linda Ronstadt. It's going to be Bonnie Raitt, Stevie Nicks, Carrie Underwood, Emmylou Harris, and Sheryl Crow. That will be interesting to see. A lot of great female performers right there. Cat Stevens, as I said, he's going to try to make it. Yusef Islam himself will try to make it to the Cleveland Rock Hall induction. Let's see, he only has to make it to New York, so I guess he doesn't have to get all the way to Cleveland. If he had to make it to Cleveland, there's no fucking way. Just forget about it. He'd never make it. He'd be killed in the backcountry of Alabama. Yes, Alabama. New York. Think that went over for a while. No, Cat is coming. He's going to perform. No idea on the inductee yet. They're like, let's just make sure that you can get on a plane, Yusef, and then we'll find somebody. There's people around. It's New York, Everybody loves New York. The E Street Band. I've gone on tirades in the past about backing bands being inducted into the Rock Hall. And some of them, I'm sorry, I just don't think they're deserving. Of course, this is all very subjective, and I'm a very opinionated man. I'm not afraid to share these opinions with you now. The E Street Band, I think this is one that's deserving. Max Weinberg leading that band, fantastic. They toured with Bruce Springsteen for years. They've toured on their own for years. Played most of them for a long time on Conan O'Brien, Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Fantastic band. And all very, very talented. I think they are certainly deserving. They will be performing the induction ceremony, and Bruce Springsteen will be bringing them in. You gotta think, Bruce, you gotta jump out there and do a tune with him, at least do some Atlantic City or something, right? Oh, Hell Cannon. My apologies, people, I am sick as a fucker. This album's called Soothsayer, by the way, by Hell Cannon. Great local metal band. And the last tune was called Resinous Infection. This song is called Pull the Plug. So the Rock Hall is going to be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York tonight. And you can check it out on HBO if you have the home box office installed in your television or in your mind. Saturday, May 31st at 9 o'clock p.m. There you have it. Rock Hall. And now I can actually go to the Rock Hall because Peter Gabriel's in there. Still holding out hope for Phil Collins, though. I would have liked to have seen Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, going in the same year. Why, you ask? Well, bear with me. Both former frontmen of Genesis, who are in the Rock Hall, so both of them are technically in the Rock Hall as members of Genesis, but not solo. I think that their careers share a trajectory, like an inverted arrow. Passes like train tracks through the 80s. Creates the majesty of the Sledgehammer video. In the Air of the Night by Phil Collins and everything. All right. Phil Collins, you'll have to wait. You know, I was going over the local news today. I like to sometimes talk about the police blotter here in Buffalo and Niagara Falls and Western New York in general. So there's some interesting things happening here sometimes. You know, there's some interesting crimes. Sometimes cautionary tales. You know, there's a lot to learn from the police blotter. But today, something jumped out at me. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie That's My Boy, but it's an Adam Sandler movie, and it's about Adam Sandler as a student has sex with his teacher. He impregnates her. They have a child. The child ends up becoming very conservative, and Adam Sandler becomes world famous because of having sex with his teacher. It's a phenomenon in the modern world that I must admit I don't truly understand. When I was in high school, and this isn't that long ago, people, I'm not that damn old. I can't think of anybody having sex with teachers. Oh, wait a second. Yes, they did. Yeah, they were having sex with the teachers back when I was at old Maple Grove High School. There were some sex scandals going on. But it seems like in the time since I've left high school, this has become so much more prolific. I don't understand, especially young female teachers, often married and with young children, which is disturbing on many levels. Often these, young women having sex with very, very young students, 12, 13, 14 years old. And many times getting pregnant by them, many times continuing the relationship on after when the minor becomes an adult. Well, we have one here in Western New York, Christine Baez-Melendez. Her attorney said in Niagara County Court Wednesday, Christine would rather go to jail than spend 6 years on probation for having sex with a teenage boy who fathered a child by her. Oof. County Judge Sarah Sheldon Farkas accepted the request and sentenced Baez-Melendez, who is 31 years old, to a year in county jail on her guilty plea. The plea was to a reduced charge of attempted third-degree rape, statutory rape, because of the boy's age. The daughter, now 2 years old. The boy, now 18. Started the relationship with Baez-Melendez when he was 14, and both were living in Yonkers. And I don't know if you've ever done a tax return for New York State. What the hell is wrong with Yonkers? I don't know. I don't want to know. I will never go there. But this is just another thing to add onto the list of Yonkers. Yeah, watching you Yonkers. You're no part of Western New York. You downstaters freak me out. Anyway, both were in Yonkers when this relationship started. The boy's family moved to Lockport in 2011, and then Baez-Melendez followed him there, renewed the relationship, got pregnant. Ugh. As I saw that story, I was kind of, I was trying to find some information on the Pennsylvania school stabbing, Alex Freibel, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, which is a bizarre story, by the way, mass knifing, Pennsylvania high school. But I came across a story of another former teacher. Her name, Kelly Burgess. Now, she's gone a little bit of a different way. She's a former drama teacher who admitted to having sex with a 16-year-old student in order to avoid jail time. Now, this is in England, so they're a little bit more relaxed about it there. Kelly Burgess, 26 years old, of Newport, England, was given a 7-month suspended sentence after she pleaded guilty to 4 sexual offenses of breach of trust, engaging in sexual act with a child. The relationship, according to Judge Iwan Ambrose in Bristol Crown Court, albeit conducted as if between equals, was not a relationship between equals. We must say this in an English voice, that's right. You were older, you were his teacher, and you should at all times have known better. The Bristol Post reports that the illegal relationship lasted 7 months. It took place between January and August of last year. Burgess and the victim exchanged over 1,200 texts, some explicit, and she saved 3 naked pictures of the victim that he sent her. Apparently, he had gone to a health clinic, and that's when authorities learned of the relationship. Burgess was immediately fired. She's registered as a sex offender, and she is prohibited from contact with children. Now, I know what you're saying. Kelly Burgess, 26. Hot or not? You can go and find the picture, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say this right now. Kelly Burgess not certainly could have probably any man that she chose out in the New England club scene. They put the things in and they space out on the floor. I don't know what they do out there in their rave parties. She's a good-looking young lady. Wow, sex with a student. This got me to thinking. There's been so many of these stories, and with some fairly attractive young ladies, but not all. Let's go through the list. Let's do a little bit of a recap here and try to figure out who's hot and who's not. The naughty teacher affairs. Let's see here. We're going to need some music for this, I think. Let me get my need to get my Honduran refugees over here working on the scene. Okay, well, Hell Cannon, you're going to have to just go on hold for a second. Here we go. All right, it's Noah in the morning coming at you. We're going to look at pictures of naughty teachers, and we're going to tell you whether they're hot or not. And then you can Google them yourself. Just the hot ones. Yeah. Brianne Altus, 34. Arrested in October 2013 after one of her former students approached Utah police and told him that he had a sexual relationship with the English teacher beginning when he was 15 years old. He was able to describe some tats on her body, told police that they had sex at least 7 times, including once in a public park. Ladies and gentlemen, hot or not? Brianne Altus, hot! Check it out. Summer Michelle Hansen, charged in August with sex crimes involving 5 students at the California high school where she taught special education. Oh, I'm not even going to make a joke. This is disturbing. Hansen allegedly sent sexually suggestive texts to at least one student who claimed she had sex with him as a prize for doing well in a baseball game. Hot or not? Not. The baseball prize thing. That's disgusting. Wow. You hit a homer, you get a boner. Diana Lee Farnell, 28, turned herself into North Carolina police on September 12th following accusations that she'd had sex with one student at the high school where she taught English. Another student told them that he noticed flirting between Farnell and certain students in his English class. Hot or not? Hot. Really hot. Rochelle Gendron, 27, was charged with 5 counts of rape stemming from her alleged affair with a 14-year-old student. A former sexual education teacher. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she's the sex ed teacher. She allegedly sent the boy photos of herself in various stages of undress, with breasts and genitals exposed. It was extra learning. This was just a teacher showing extra attention, trying to really convey the message. The female body, okay. Disturbing, yes. Hot or not? Hot. Okay, I don't know. I don't get it. Kelly Ann Garcia, an English teacher in Texas, is accused of carrying on sexual relations with a 16-year-old female student. The Houston area educator, who allegedly took the teen to a sex shop during their romance, faces charges of sex assault of a child and indecency with a child. Kelly Ann Garcia, not the normal thing, not the young hottie having sex with the young boy. No? Young hot teacher having sex with a young hot student, female student. Ooh. Hot or not? She's a little bookish, but hot. It's hot. All right, Katana Culp is accused of having sex multiple times with a student at Northbrook High School in Houston. A lot of this going on in Texas. I don't know what's wrong with Texas, but there's some weird down there. She allegedly told the school's principal about the relationship after the student threatened to make the relationship public unless she paid him. Oh, that might tip you off. Hot or not? Not. Yeah, that's what happens with the extortion. Deborah LaFave, former middle school teacher Deborah LaFave. She was indicted on 2 counts of lewd and lascivious battery. LaFave, who's now 31, had sexual liaisons with a 14-year-old middle school student, which made tabloid headlines. And she avoided prison as part of a plea agreement. Hot or not? Hot! I don't get it. Although she kind of looks like that chick we were talking about on Tuesday, who has the plastic surgery to look like Barbie. That's weird. You know what I have to say? Deborah LaFave in the one shot is hot. Deborah LaFave in the mug shot, not so much. She's got a rainbow shirt on with a lot of stuff going. Very, very busy. Definitely not good in the mug shot. Okay, Carrie McCandless. Wow, there's so many of these. Oh my God, the list just keeps going. Anything interesting about her? No. Had sex with somebody. Not hot. Let's move on. Oh, now this is the other way. She actually looks kind of hotter in the mug shot. I'll say that. Google it. Erin Thorne, 28. She's been accused of sending one of her students sexually explicit text messages before he turned 18. The relationship then turned sexual after he turned 18. A little long-term planning on this one. No jail time. There you go. 15 will get you 20. 18, you're good to go. Text messages, not hot though. Ooh, Catherine L. Carmine. Ooh. She worked as a teacher's aide at Seaford Middle School in Delaware. She's accused of having sex with a 14-year-old boy at least 40 times over a 10-month period. She's the Energizer Bunny, this one. And she looks like it. Not hot. Ooh. Beat. Elise Cromwell, 27-year-old New Jersey teacher, accused of having sex with a 14-year-old student multiple times. She was the English and homeroom teacher for the male student. Hot. A little tatted up, but hot. Leah Shipman. Okay. She looks like a guy. Not hot. Christine Yum. Not Yum. No. She actually, let's see, she taught exceptional students. Myers Park High School in Charlotte. Oh, even the exceptional students are getting laid out there. Let's see. Stephanie Fletcher had sex with two 16-year-old students during class breaks. Not hot. Not hot. Amanda Sotelo, 35 years old, married, substitute teacher, had a months-long affair with a 14-year-old boy. Not hot. Not hot. But she claims that she and the boy are in love. Oh, Michael Shanklin. Ugh. Dude, you broke the whole female naughty teacher thing. You just destroyed it. Not hot. Disgusting. Lynn Freeman, 38-year-old mother and parent volunteer at university schools. Arrested for alleged sexual assault of a 14-year-old teenage boy who was a friend of her daughter's. Oh, nice. She's got a big wart on her face, too. It makes her kind of look like the witch from The Wizard of Oz. Not hot. Stephanie Dickinson. Okay, real quick, meth, not good for you. Not hot. Irene Kahn. Check her papers. Not hot. Nicole Jacques. In late March 2012, Nicole Jacques allegedly had sex with her 15-year-old student several times in her apartment, not at Calvary Baptist School in Pennsylvania where she worked. Hot or not? Google it. She's hot. Stephanie Cobb. Sex with a 16-year-old student, allegedly exchanged 12,000 texts for the course of 4 months. That's got to be some kind of record. But she was not hitting the gym over those 4 months. Not hot. Lauren Redfern. She has a square head. Not hot. Heather Witten, 38. Looks like she's about 62. Not hot. Not hot, people. Andrea Abert. Ooh, sex with two 17-year-old students. Not on campus, but she's in jail, and she needs a shower. She looks like she smells funny, too. Probably smells like pea soup. We run out of game show music? Start it again. Yes. Jennifer Schultz. She looks like she's about 14. Okay, let's see. This is interesting. North Dakota schoolteacher Jennifer Schultz charged with sexually assaulting two of her students after a group of students arrived at her home and asked if she would like to drink vodka with them. She, of course, said, yeah! Why not? After a few drinks, two of the boys went up to Schultz's room, where the teacher allegedly had sex with one boy while the other one watched. It's not only that these teachers are like having sex with students. It's also that they're so kinky. Exhibitionist and weird. Kelly Miller, 32, science teacher in Chicago, charged with sexual exploitation of a child after allegedly sending explicit photos of herself to a 15-year-old student. You'd think hot, right? You would think so, but you're wrong, not. Pamela Jones Rogers Turner, too many names, not hot. Jones Rogers Turner. Amber Jennings, ooh, naughty librarian thing going on with her. No sex, I don't think, but she was charged and pled guilty to disseminating harmful materials to a minor. She is a good lawyer, because I have no idea what that means. Something involving a 16-year-old student. Hot. The naughty librarian thinks hot. Mary Kay Letourneau. Oh, we know her. Oh, my goodness. No, not hot. So not hot. Her hair looks like a wig that's made of dead pigeons. Ooh. Wendy Schweikert. We're going downhill here. This is bad. Elementary school teacher. Okay, this is a new low. I mean, low in age and in morality. 11-year-old student, and no, not hot. And Tara Driscoll could go either way, but she's a little mannish. Kind of reminds me of Ace Ventura. She could be Ray Finkel. Either Tara Driscoll's a dude. She's got the worst case of raging hemorrhoids that I have ever seen. Rachel Holt. No, George Hernandez. Oh, not. Holly Hatcher. She was charged with statutory rape after being accused of having sex with a 17-year-old male student at her home in Nashville. Sorta. Oh my God, it keeps going. Okay, not hot. Brittany Collips, not hot. 20 years in prison she's looking at, so probably a better thing for her to be not hot. Stacy Schuler. No. Ooh, horseface, Jody Honorado. It's okay to ridicule these women because they're horrible people, right? Ethel Anderson, our only minority of the group. She was convicted of molestation, battery, and sex with a 12-year-old student whom she had tutored at her home in December 2011. She sent more than 230 pages of sexually explicit text messages to the boy, and later said in court that she had intended the text as sexual therapy. Sexual therapy. That's good. Okay. Enough of this. My good Lord. You know, lock up your sons, lock up your daughters. They be raping everybody up in the schools. I don't know why. Okay, let's talk for a quick moment before we're going to take a music break. We're going to get Tommy Loop on the phone. We've got so much to do. Let's have some quick crowd reaction to the new plan for the 198. In case you didn't know, in Buffalo, there's a little highway that runs right through Delaware Park, and it's called the Skajakwada. It kind of cuts right across the city in the northern part of the city. It's handy if you're trying to get from one part to the other a little bit. But as I said, it runs right through the park, and it's kind of an eyesore, and creates a lot of pollution, traffic problems, safety problems there in that neighborhood. So trying to think of different things to do with it for years. Well, the newest plan is this, and we'll have the crowd. Let's see what the crowd thinks every time, and they seem pretty optimistic that they can get this done. Okay, the crowd thought that was funny. See how this works? Okay. A raised center median with trees and antique-style street lamps. Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea, huh? Okay. Narrower traffic lanes. Okay, yeah, we're excited about that, too. That's good. We'll keep them nice and narrow. I guess that means that you can navigate with more difficulty. Which slows you down. Okay, I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to go with it. 40-mile-per-hour speed limit. Ooh. Oh, nobody happy with the 40-mile-per-hour speed. That's either too fast or too slow, depending which side of the argument that you're on. Me? Too slow. We need to increase the speed limit with the narrower lanes and the antique-style street lamps, okay? But let's increase the speed limit to, say, 75. Thank you. My proposal will be submitted in writing to the City of Buffalo Planning Department. Let's see. They're going to eliminate 15 entrance and exit ramps. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. There's going to be more than a dozen bicycle and pedestrian crossings. Oh, that's nice of them to do. There's going to be a pedestrian bridge linking SUNY Buffalo State and Amherst Street. Okay, one guy's pretty excited and likes Amherst Street there. It's 3.3 miles of the Scajaquada that runs from Grant Street through Delaware Park to Parkside Avenue. Something must be done with it. And it runs the gamut. Everything from, let's tear it up to let's make it a real highway. A lot of people in Buffalo like to go back to the Frederick Olmsted kind of design of the park system and with the parkways. Two of the more famous examples are the Scajaquada, of course, and the Kensington Expressway, the 33. The 33 is an interesting case. It used to be the Humboldt Parkway, a glorious, beautiful parkway right through the middle of Buffalo. You know what I mean? Now it's a horrible highway with blight on either side of it for every mile of it. But when you have 80,000 cars that drive on this road every single day, you can't just rip it up. You can't just close it down because those cars have to go somewhere. It's a similar argument now with the 198. Maybe not as many cars per day, somewhere between, I think the estimates I've seen are 35 and 50,000 cars per day. Still, those cars have to go somewhere. You can't just shut down a main highway and then tell them to all fight for it. The radial street design in Buffalo is great, yes, but not if you're commuting. And one of the best things about Buffalo is that you can get anywhere fast. It's Buffalo's famous for that. There's no bad commutes. You can move around pretty quickly around this city and around this region. 20 minutes to everywhere. Right? I don't know if the Scajaquada, really is a vital part of that, but as part of the commuting problem, it has to be looked at. Ladies and gentlemen, we will fix this thing. We're gonna get Buffalo up. We're gonna give Buffalo a boner. That's right. We're gonna give Buffalo the biggest morning wood that you've ever seen here on Noah in the Morning. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10:40. How is it 10:40 already? Oh, my God. Did we talk about those naughty teachers for that long? Wow. That's great radio. We'll talk about them more later. And for right now, as I said, I've got a ton of new music to get through here. All we've heard so far is Hellcan, and it's just not going to cut it. We're going to have to get something else going here. So let's take a look. What do we have? A band that we had on the Noah's Ark show a few years ago, Simple Circus. They unfortunately fell to the Noah's Ark curse, where they appeared on the show and then broke up 5 minutes later. But while they were here, they gave us a great CD, so let's check it out. Simple Circus is the band. The album is Simple Circus, their self-titled and only album, and the song is called Visions.
Just thought that you should know that your loving fills my soul, thinking on you. It's too late to be awake, but I lay here anyway, seeing visions of you. And it's alright if you call to waste my time, when I've been waiting for you. And it's alright all night, I'm ready to use. Yeah, this is where the fun begins. Sing, I'm homing in on you. I wanna make you out of bed, I wanna breathe you in. Hey, I've been dreaming of you. Ooh, yeah, when the night closes in and we're so far away. Oh, pictures of you, they dance around in my head, yeah. Take me today, let me show you the way to a faraway place in a faraway space, yeah. Maybe someday, yeah. No need to be uptight, you don't need to ask me why. I've been noticing you. Is it in the way you move your hips? Is it the way we get lost in the lamps? See, I've been dreaming of you. Oh, it's alright if you're gonna waste my time when I've been waiting for you. Oh, it's dancing and we're so far away. Oh, pictures of you, they dance around in my head. Taking today, come on, let me show you the way to a faraway place, ain't all far away. Oh, angels come and fly away. It's alright. It's alright. Oh, it's alright. We're alright, alright. We are. Visions of you, visions of you, visions of you.
Simple Circus there, the song Visions here on allwesternnewyorkradio.com. It's Noah in the morning. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. 716-402-4218. That is our number here at All Western New York Radio, and I encourage you, as I always do, to call that number during off hours when we're not live. Call in and just leave us a voicemail. Tell us what you're up to. Hopefully it's the middle of the night. You are drunkenly standing on the side of the Skajakwada, and you have come up with the grand master plan to realize Olmsted's vision and move the cars through. It's a Back to the Future type thing with flying cars. No streets left, just landing zones. Okay? You call, you leave that on a fucking voicemail, I'm going to forward it to Byron Brown, and we're going to build it together tomorrow. Okay? Enough of that. Just thinking, this whole teacher sex thing, this is really an epidemic. If you go to the HuffingtonPost.com, I was just down there looking for some information, and it's all stories about students having sex with teachers. Victim film teacher performing sex act on him, according to police. Christian school teacher caught with student in backseat of car. Counselor accused of sex with student chatted with victim on Instagram. There's a common thread here. For the most part, fairly hot, young, and number two, very stupid. Very, 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 very stupid. And these are the people who are supposed to be educating our young. Oh, my goodness. Well, it's not all just party and sex at school these days. There, unfortunately, was just another tragic incident. This time not a school shooting. Yesterday, actually, a school stabbing. Police said 16-year-old Alex Reibel, a sophomore at Franklin Regional High School, brandished 2 kitchen knives to wound 21 students and a security guard before the first class Wednesday morning. Classmates in Murraysville who knew Reibel said they were shocked. They said they hadn't seen other kids pick on him, and at least one of the victims was Reibel's good friend. An 11th grader whose name has been withheld said, quote, one of the kids he stabbed was a great friend of his. He didn't have a lot of friends, but he was not bullied. Other students said 2 of the victims were really good friends with Reibel. Now, no one was killed in the knife attack, thankfully. 2 victims were in critical condition as of Wednesday evening, and Reibel has been charged with attempted murder as an adult. We're going to get Tommy Loop on the phone right now and get his take on this. We have Tommy Loop standing by, ready to talk to us this morning. You know, Tommy Loop. Good morning, sir. Good morning, my friend. Welcome to the show.
How is everything over there?
It's fantastic. I'm a little under the weather today, so you know it's my head's a little fuzzy up there. But I think we're still rolling. I think everything's still working. I haven't broken everything yet.
Good old weather change.
That's right. How are you, my friend?
No. I reversed the yeah for you there.
Yeah, I always get it on the change of the seasons. I don't know what it is.
Yep.
Getting it bad this time, too. Tommy, we're just talking about the school stabbing, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm a parent, you're a parent.
Yeah.
Just a crazy kind of story here where Alex Schreibel, 16 years old, brought kitchen knives into school, wounded 21 students and a security guard before they could subdue him. From all accounts, he wasn't bullied. He was a nice guy. He was a normal kid. wasn't the quiet loner type that you normally kind of envisage in this tragic situation. Two of the victims actually have been said to be good friends of his.
Wow.
What do you think is going on here?
Well, something must have been building up for a while. I couldn't, obviously we're not experts on it. It's just a terrible situation going on down in Pittsburgh, PA. But obviously it had to have been something building up.
Right.
The kid for years, it just makes you wonder. Again, we go back to the chicken or the egg thing, as we were talking about there with Fort Hood.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
Right.
It's terrible. I'm trying not to read about it. But as a parent, you just don't know when these things will happen. And yeah, it may be publicized so much right now, but still the instances of it happening, it's just, they're so minute percentage-wise. But it's there. It's definitely out there, and it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrifying. When I was in high school, the worst thing that ever happened was our starting quarterback put his hand through a plate glass window. There was a lot of blood and everything, but it's like that was the biggest kind of tragedy that we had. Except for students actually passing away. As far as anything happening in school, never even any crazy fights or anything like that. It was like this stuff didn't happen. I don't know. I heard an interesting story the other day where they were saying that studies have shown in schools where they're really, really strict about very small things, like dress code, for example, they tend to not have problems with violence. The students, the theory goes, if they seek to rebel against something, then they can rebel against these things and violate rules that are of a much, much lower order. Whereas once that stuff's no longer a big deal and you just let it go, then they're looking to one-up it. One up the situation and do something worse. Right. And I
like the competitive, that thick sense of competitive nature.
Yeah, but also just the teenage angst and the urge to kind of resist authority. It's almost like 1984. It's like you're building in some laws or some rules, some things that the kids can stand up to and resist without actually causing a serious problem. You know what I mean? Without violence, without anybody getting hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's how I was in high school, man. I revolted against all the stupidest things.
Yeah.
I can't say if those things had been there, I would have been in there shooting up the school. I mean, I certainly hope not. I don't think I would. But that's kind of what the. I
doubt that.
I'm not really the type, am I, Tommy? I was having too much fun to do that.
Absolutely. I'm sure the kids had fun too. I just wonder, because they're obviously going to do documentaries probably this weekend about it, if not already.
Right.
We'll probably get a more in-depth analysis about what happened, what this kid was all about, why he was who he was. Because obviously life for him, as we know it, is pretty much over.
It's over. He'll be tried as an adult, and he's going to do some time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, man, I hate to cut this short. I have to get going here.
Okay, no problem, buddy.
Yeah.
You have a great day, Tommy. Good talking to you.
You too.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, bye-bye. Tommy Loop, thank you for joining us, my friend. He's got his hands full over there, of course. Yeah, it is tragic. It's very, very sad. You continue to hear about these stories. And I don't know. I don't know if that is the answer, that you give the kids something to rebel against that's they can rebel in a safe way, in a controlled way. That's kind of a scary thought if you think about it like that. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if there is an answer. I don't know. Really don't know where to go with it. It's tragic. It's horrible. I think, it makes us all kind of look in the mirror and say, what are we doing wrong as a society, as a country, as educators? There's too much goddamn sex going on in the classrooms. This is going to be my soapbox today. It's the kids who are not getting laid, they got blue balls and they get really upset. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, let's talk about Brandon Spikes for a minute. Let's completely just shift gears and get away from this. Brandon Spikes, former linebacker of the New England Patriots, who the Buffalo Bills, of course, signed this year. Well, he's not done taking pod shots at the Patriots. Apparently, he took to Twitter, as athletes and celebrities are sometimes want to do. He went to Twitter and he tweeted 4 years a slave. Ouch. Referring to his 4 years with the New England Patriots under Bill Belichick and playing with Tom Brady and everything like that. Just fantastic. It's shocking because you normally never see this. Normally guys, even if they had a really bad relationship with a team, they move on. They go somewhere else and they say, hey, it didn't work there. Whatever, I wish them the best. They had the best fans in the world, That's always the standard line, right? That's what you say. You don't leave and say, oh, man, I was 4 years a slave there. Holy shit, man. Well, he wasn't done there. Referring to the schedule, he said, great games on the schedule for 2014, but it's going to be like Christmas to hand the Patriots a loss twice. Later, he said, I'm def going to knock out a bish. B-I-S-H. I think he's calling Tom Brady a bish. Tom Brady is a bish. He said later, I got a lot to prove. Sorry, let's not throw in proper grammar there where it doesn't exist. I got a lot to prove. I love it that way. Tons of exclamation points just littered all over that thing. It's icing on my cake to hand the Patriots 2 big L's this year. Just watch. I think he was referring to the Patriots, but he called them the Patritos. Unless that's maybe like a Latina name for the Patriots. The Patritos, huh? That could be. And later he said, 4 years a slave, of course. Ouch. Tweets didn't go over well in Patriot land. Spike said he had spent the rest of the day blocking, quote, mass holes. Yes, there's a lot of mass holes out there, aren't there? Brandon Spikes, you are beyond an idiot, okay? The Patriots have owned us for like 15 years, dude. You're making it worse. Nobody wants to beat them more than me. I hate Tom Brady. Nobody hates Tom Brady more than me. Nobody hates Bill Belichick more than me. But I wouldn't go if I was you and say 4 years. Come on, man. You target on your back. Not just from the Patriots, who will, I guarantee you, circle this article, have it up in the locker room on day 1 of training camp, and they will have that game with the Bills circled as well because of this idiot. But beyond that, it's just it's low class, buddy. It's low class. I wonder how the brain trust over for the Buffalo Bills are taking this, really. I mean, you can't be happy about it. You don't want to see a guy that you've just signed taking to Twitter and taking pot shots at his former team. First of all, it makes him look like an idiot. And it makes you look like an idiot for signing him because the guy clearly is an attitude problem. He's not going to be a team player. He's going to be a problem. He's a problem. Don't point fingers, but you're a problem. Brandon Spikes. Okay, if this guy doesn't have like 14 sacks, 120 tackles, and like 4 interceptions this year, I say we give him over to Bill Belichick and let Darth rape him. Like a bish. He's going to bish rape him. He's going to bish slap him. And he's going to bish rape him. Ouch. Brandon Spikes. As much as people in Massachusetts are hating you right now, you're not making any fans in Buffalo by doing this, dude. A couple of people probably will laugh about it, but they still realize deep down that you're an idiot. Of course, this is provoked comparisons to Richard Sherman being a classless douche in the playoffs. 4 years of I mean, the whole slavery thing, to pull that into sports really is not appropriate anyway. But on the other hand, with all of that said, and as much of an idiot as I'm calling Brandon Spikes right now, if they do beat the Patriots twice, he can say whatever the hell he wants. I will eat my words, ladies and gentlemen. If he goes and sacks Tom Brady twice, knocks him out of the game, smacks him around like a bish, I will eat my fucking words. I'll eat my hat with an H on it. Golden H. You see that? Golden yellow H? I'll eat it. It's not going to happen. I will once again predict that the Patriots will go 4-12 this year, as I predict that every year. I'm just waiting for it to happen. And it will. It will happen eventually, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hold out hope. I don't know where the time is going today. It's already 11. No one in the morning has to wrap up and go away and go take a nap. Wow. Good show, though. All things considered.
Noah.
Somehow we held it together, people.
Noah.
I thank you for that.
Noah. Noah. Noah.
We'll be back next week with all the rigmarole.
Noah. Noah.
Oh, looking on Facebook, people posting Ginzu knives. Come on.
Noah. Morning.
Too soon.
Noah is morning.
Too soon.
Noah. Morning.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the Rock Hall induction.
Morning. Noah is morning.
Check out Naughty Hot Teachers
Noah. Morning.
on the interwebs. They apparently are everywhere.
Noah is morning. Noah. Morning.
And check out more from us at allwnyradio.com.
Morning.
That is all from me today. My friends, I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a call anytime at 716-402-4218. Noah in the morning, signing off. Good luck. Have fun.
Noah is morning. Suck thus a lot into you.